We just went past Canadian Thanksgiving, and you know what? We talked about this as a team here at Automate Your Life, and we wanted to give back a little bit to our community and to you guys. We wanted to give you a number of different resources. So today, what I'm going to walk you through is a number of other YouTube channels that we love in the smart home space. And this is going to be a two-part series. I'm going to bring some very different channels actually to your attention in the second part of this series. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to take the frustration out of automation by giving you some resources that you might not know about. And we're not just going to stick with the big channels today, but we're going to start with a couple of big channels that I think you're going to love, and if you don't already know them, you should. And let's start with Tech with Brett. And I've known Brett for a long time now, actually, and he's been an inspiration to me in a lot of ways. And he just recently passed 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and the guy does things as thorough as anyone, and I think as clean as anyone. And he really knows his stuff as well in the smart home space. He also gets a ton of different cell phones or smartphones on his channel and shows you everything you need to know about those devices. The next channel is, and you've seen him a number of times on the channel, I've been lucky enough to bring Paul Hibbert onto the channel. And yeah, I know lots of you are sick of seeing the guy, and quite frankly, I'm sick of seeing the guy too. I don't even like him, but I am going to recommend that you start watching Paul if you're not. And the reason I say that is his level of passion and his attention to actually a ton of detail when he does the things that he does on his channel. You know, he and I don't always see eye to eye on how you should approach the smart home, but I always learn something when I go and watch Paul's videos. And you wouldn't think it by how funny, by how humorous he makes all of his content, but he really gets in deep and shows you some very, very specific things. Every time I watch a video from Rob at the Hookup, well, I learn something, and you would think I wouldn't have to learn too much being a computer engineer coming from a world of industrial automation, but this guy's knowledge is unsurpassed, I think, in this industry, and he is truly a professor, and he brings a whole world of knowledge to networking, privacy, security, and he really does it in a very inexpensive way. Craig at Craig's Tech Talk, he's a really down-to-earth tech YouTuber, and he brings a lot from the smart home space onto his channel. Now, he does some other things as well because it's tech, but Craig does a great job, and I always feel like I'm getting really clear, really simple, and really thorough information still. I don't know how he does it, but he brings things in at a level that makes it easy to understand. He's clear, and then somehow he still makes sure that every device is being pointed at the right person. Now, it's really easy to go and show you all these great YouTubers with thousands of followers, and I could talk about Reed at Smart Home Solver as well. I think a lot of you guys already know Reed, really thorough, really great at what he does. He's over there doing that, but I think we need to move on to some smaller YouTubers, and these are people that I feel aren't necessarily getting the recognition that they deserve, and they've really started to form better and better channels. Joshua Gross and I have been talking for a long time, actually, and we haven't spoken much recently because he's actually out there installing smart home equipment in people's homes. He's started a business doing this, and he also has a YouTube channel where he brings his own unique perspectives to the world of smart home equipment. And when I first met Josh, we talked a lot about kind of how to craft a video and how I was learning to craft videos from some of my mentors, and he's really taken a lot of that on, and it's started to work for him, and he's on the upswing really quickly with Gross Tech. Chris Young has been running a channel. I think he really knows his HomeKit stuff. So if you're an Apple user, he's starting to put together this really great content. He's on Twitter. He's interacting with me on Twitter all the time, and he really knows his stuff when it comes to HomeKit. All the time, as soon as I get something from him, I'm deferring to him immediately. And his YouTube channel is starting to really come into its own, and I think he's producing some great content. I saw a recent review review of the IKEA Symfonisk speakers, and I was really interested to see that from his perspective. Carlo Costanzo, I hope I'm saying that name right, he's been following me on Twitter for a while, and we've talked a number of times, and the fact is the guy really knows his stuff, and he's started to really form a much more full YouTube channel, but he has focused heavily on Home Assistant, and the guy knows his stuff. Now, it was just a few weeks ago I started noticing this other orange icon. We have an orange icon here that kept showing up on my newer YouTube videos, commenting, and the name was Right Near Home. And Kyle from Right Near Home has not been doing his channel for that long, but he has a really refined process. See, Kyle and I have been chatting a little bit, and I've been learning a lot about how he approaches YouTube and how he's approaching his channel and the things he's doing. And I think he's making some really great tutorials over there. I think he's doing some really great things, and he just hasn't got the recognition as of yet. And what is really interesting, I kind of talked about his process, and his process for crafting a video is actually remarkably close to mine. And I gotta tell you, it took me 2 years to get to that point on Automate Your Life. To get to this point where I really plan out this content and I really know what I'm giving you before I get in front of the camera. He does that already, and it's being successful already for him. Twitter is funny sometimes, and there's a couple of people I've met through Twitter, and I saw this channel or this Twitter user named Dial Home Tech. I didn't quite get that his name was actually Dial. It's a really interesting different name, but what I found about Dial Home Tech is how refined and how crisp and how clear his video content is. I'm really impressed with some of his cinematography or some of how he's shooting these videos. Very fluid, very good speaker on all the smart home stuff, and I think he's got a great start on his channel and starting to form some of the patterns that you need to on YouTube to be successful. Now, this is a really different channel, and that's kind of part of this. Andrew's Tech, I don't even know how old Andrew is, but he created a Amazon voice assistant based skill for Paul Hibbert's channel, and he's actually offered to do one for Automate Your Life, and I think the project that he's working on with Paul is really impressive, and I really like the look and the sound of it, and this is what you get to see on his channel. Now, this isn't like other channels. You're not going to get weekly content or anything like that, not yet, but you know what? Andrew is putting together something that is incredibly sophisticated and I think going to be really powerful for Paul, and I hope for Automate Your Life at some point. Now, stay tuned for part 2 of this series where I'm going to show you some different things that we're doing on Automate Your Life and really bring really different channels here to the forefront. You'll see some YouTube channels that we're partnered with, that we're working with, and providing some of the insights that we can as a channel. And then you're also going to see just some of the channels we absolutely love in other spaces. They don't need to be the smart home space. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and I hope I've brought you some new resources and some new friends here on YouTube that you can go ahead, chat with on a weekly, a daily basis. They're all great people. And so, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and don't hate, automate.